the raise your hand symbol. At the very top of your screen you will see there's a big thick black bar. It starts with the word meeting, and as you go across the black bar you can see a green speaker symbol for your headphones. Then you can find the raise your hand symbol. So let's see, for Agul, for Daniel, for Haigor, for Sahar, if you can hear me okay, please go to the tops of your screens and click on the raise your hand symbol. Thank you, Haigor, Agul, Sahar. Hope you can hear me, Daniel and Takako. Alright, so the next step will be that I'll put a mic next to your name, and when I do put the mic next to your name, that will mean that you will get a new symbol at the top of your screen, and the new symbol at the top of your screen will look just like a microphone, and it will be next to the raise your hand symbol. So there we go. Let's start then with Sahar. Sahar, here's a mic for you. So Sahar, you go to the top of your screen and click on the raise your hand symbol, not the raise your hand, but the microphone symbol. Turn your mic on. Say hi. What country are you in, Sahar? Thank you, Sahar. Okay, then let me go up to the top of my list. I'll go to Agul. Agul, here's a mic for you. Could you turn your mic, please, and say hi, Agul? What country are you in? Thank you, Agul. Now, your voice is clear, but it's very distant. So could you make sure your mic is turned up as loud as will go, Agul? And hopefully we can hear you okay. Okay, next let me go to Haigor. Haigor, there's a mic for you. Can you turn on your mic, please, and say hi? What country are you in, Haigor?
Hello, everyone. My name is Haigor, and I am from Brazil.
Thank you, Haigor. Welcome to you. And then our final student is Takako. So here's a mic for Takako. Can your microphone, please, Takako, say hi? What country are you in?
Hi teacher, hi everyone, my name is Takako. I'm from Japan. I'm glad to take this class today. Thank you.
Well, nice to have you in class. Thank you, Takako, Sahar, Haigor, and Agul. Welcome. I hope you enjoy our class today. Let's get started. Here we go. The topic for our conversation today is making a complaint. And we're getting started right now. And let's look. What's wrong with these products? Okay, something's wrong with the cup, and something is wrong with the shirt, or perhaps the pen. Looks like something's wrong with the jeans too. Oh my goodness. And there seems to be some problem with the computer. So, can anybody tell me what's wrong with these products? Agul, what would you like to tell me? Maybe you'd like to start with the cup. Agul, what's wrong with the cup? Very good. Perfect. That's a passive voice. You use the passive straight away, Agul. Excellent. Okay, I wondered if I have to explain. You got it right straight away. So what I'm talking about here, the passive voice is to the right of our screen up here. The passive voice is used to give information about objects. And the formula is, we say our object, in this case the cup, we use the verb to be, is, and then we have to use the past participle of the verb, the main verb, and the main verb in this case is chip. So the past participle for chip is chipped. So Igor correctly said in a passive voice, the cup is chipped. Okay, let's look at the jeans. Can anybody tell me what's wrong with the jeans? Igor, I see that you're there. Okay, Igor, let's go up to you then, Igor. Igor, what would you say for the jeans? Very good. Again, what Igor has done, she's used the passive voice. So if we look down here, you can see I've put the subject that we have, what we're talking about, the cup. Now we're talking about the jeans. And Igor correctly said that the jeans, now jeans are plural, always plural, because there's two legs. So the jeans, the verb to be for plural, are, the jeans are, and then she used the verb tear in the past participle. The jeans are torn, or the jeans are worn would be acceptable. Let's look at the shirt. Now maybe Haigor or Sahar or Takako, can you tell me what's wrong with the shirt? Here, I'll give you a hint right down here, the shirt, and we want to use the word stain. So Sahar, how would you tell me what's wrong with the shirt, Sahar? Okay, did you say the shirt is stained? Okay, so the shirt is stained. Now, because it's stained, because the past participle of the verb stain is stained with an ed on the end. Okay, Takako, let's go to you, Takako. There's a pen in our picture also. Now, often we can use the passive voice to describe what's wrong, but we can also use the continuous voice if it has an example or it has an effect in the present. And of course, the continuous form is we talk about the object, then we use the verb to be, but then we just use the base form of the verb, the infinite, verb 1, and then we add ing. So, Takako, let's look at the pen. What would you say about the pen? See if you can use this form here. We know the object is the pen. Could you make a continuous statement about the pen? Let's look down here. Here's the verb you want to use, leak.
Okay, teacher. The pen has leaked.
Very good. Now that's the past, that's the perfect form of the passive voice. The pen has leaked. Okay, so the pen has leaked. In the continuous form, we could say that the pen is leaking. You see? So there's two ways we can use that. Now let's look at our last product down here. Can anybody tell me what is wrong with the computer? Now here we go. Look at the computer. We want to use the verb malfunction. So there's two ways we can use this. We can use the passive form or we can use the continuous form. Aigul, how would you say what's wrong with the computer? Very good. The computer is malfunctioning. Now that's the continuous form because it has an effect in the present. We can see the screen doesn't work, so the computer is malfunctioning. We can also use the passive voice there and we could say the computer has malfunctioned. Okay, so just to get us used to these forms, speaking these passive forms, Aigul, you're very good at this, so can I go through with you first? Aigul, could you just repeat with me? The cup is chipped. The shirt is stained. The pen is leaking. The jeans are torn. The computer is malfunctioning. Very clear, Aigul. Well done. Okay, Aigul, let's go with you and do the same. Can you repeat? The cup is chipped.
The cup is chipped.
The shirt is stained.
The shirt is stained.
The pen is leaking.
The pen is leaking.
The jeans are torn.
The jeans are torn.
The computer is malfunctioning.
The computer is malfunctioning.
Very clear. Thanks, Aigul. Sahar, can you repeat after me? The cup is chipped. That's it. The shirt is stained. The pen is leaking. The jeans are torn. The computer is malfunctioning. 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 You have to get an ing on the end there, Sahar. Okay. Okay, Sahar, you can practice that one. Okay, Takako, can you repeat after me, Takako? The cup is chipped.
The cup is chipped.
The shirt is stained.
The shirt is stained.
The pen is leaking.
Is leaking.
The jeans are torn.
The jeans are torn.
The computer is malfunctioning.
The computer is malfunctioning.
Well done, Takako. Great from all of you. Very good pronunciation there. Okay, so now this is a much easier task. You don't have to think about passage now. Can you tell the class about a time when you bought a product or you had to complain about a product? What was wrong? Okay, let's go with Aigul. Tell us about a time you bought a product and something was wrong. What happened, Aigul? And did they change the sofa for you, Aigul, to a better fabric? Oh, that's great. Okay, so that was a good one. Okay, you complained about your product and you got the product improved. Okay, so let's go to Haigo. Haigo, can you tell me about a time when you bought a product, maybe a computer, phone, something, and it wasn't what you thought, so you had to complain?
I bought a mobile phone, and there was some plain in the screen of the mobile phone. There is a problem that I can't see the names and the numbers of who are calling me. And then I complained to the company, and they sent me a brand new mobile phone. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, so you got your product fixed. That's great, Heiko. Sahar, how about you? Sahar, can you tell us about a time when you had to complain about a product? So what did you do, Sahar? Your DVD didn't work, so what did you do? Okay, so they replaced it for you. Very good. Thank you, Sahar. Takako, have you bought a product you had to complain about?
Okay, teacher. A couple of years ago, I bought a TV with Blu-ray recorder, but to TV, something wrong problem, and when I put in the Blu-ray disc, they can't put out to Blu-ray recorder. I am it's very difficult to use, and I complained about this product, and I could change
Very good.
parts. Thank you.
Very good. Okay, thanks, Takako. So everybody had a good result because you actually got everything that you complained about put right. So let's see, which of the problems do you think is the most common? Well, I think any problem with electronics is a very common problem these days. Such a rush to manufacture that quite often they don't get to do the quality check they should do. Or perhaps something happens in the shipping, something's bumped or broken, and when the customer takes delivery, it's quite often or quite common that you find that it doesn't work just as good as you thought it would, such as Haigo with his telephone, or let's see, Takako with her TV, or Sahar. So then we have to make a complaint, but then the trick is to complain in a very civil way and a polite way, so that way we can hopefully get some good service, and if the company can look after the customer, they'll always try to get you a replacement. So well done. Let's look at our next slide, and our next slide talks about some of those past participle verbs. So there are two kinds of verbs, of course, in English. The easy ones, which are the regular verbs. Regular verbs, we just stick ed or d on the end to turn it into the past tense or the past participle. So for example, chip is a regular verb. The past tense and past participle for chip is the same. It's chipped. Stain is a regular verb. Again, to make it past tense or past participle, we just add ed. So they're easy. The tricky verbs in English, of course, are the irregular verbs. And words like eat, write, tear, these words are all irregular verbs. You have to learn a new word in the past tense and sometimes a different word in the past participle. So you have to be very, very careful of your irregular verbs. So there we are. And of course, this form here we know is the continuous form because it has the ing on the end, malfunctioning. So remember, the cup was chipped, the shirt was stained, the jeans were torn, and the computer was malfunctioning. Okay, now they are words that we use to describe something wrong with a product, and perhaps you can think of some other words. While you're thinking of other words, let me bring up some color here because I've got some words over here. And on the right of our screen now, under vocabulary slide, we can see there are those words: chipped, stain, torn, malfunctioning. Then we go to the word broken. Now, broken is an irregular verb because the base form of broken is break. Okay, so we have break, broke, broken. So that's, you see, irregular verbs, very tricky. You've got to learn different words. Crack is a regular verb. So the base form crack, then the past tense and the past participle cracked. Squash is a regular verb. So squash turns into squashed. Easy. Now the next phrase there, past the sell-by date, is something, a phrase that we use when food or something that we can consume has gone past its date, past the sell-by date, which is usually marked on the product itself somewhere. The word after that, of course, is another regular verb. Scratch is the base form, so the past tense is scratched. And rotten, again, irregular verb, because the base form of rotten is rot. And then we have water damaged, so damage is a verb, and damage, again, a regular verb, because we just add ed to make it past tense. Shrink is the irregular verb that turns into shrunk, and it goes shrink, shrank, shrunk, if you want to learn the three different forms of the verb. And we can sometimes say that food is off if it smells bad. So there's some expressions there that I've just introduced you to, because on our very next slide, well, how did you think the customer service responds to complaints? Well, we know you got your products rectified. So let's look at this one, which has got the words in I was just talking about. Cracked, shrunk, off, meaning smells bad, torn, rotten, malfunctioning, stained, chipped, and past its sell-by date. So we have 5 products on our slide, and you have to tell me what's wrong with these products. Use the words from the box to make your complaint, and each person make a different complaint from somebody else. So we're talking about apples, the computer, the eggs or an egg, can of food, and our old friend the cup. So who'd like to start? Can you tell me what is wrong with these products? Sahar, what would you like to talk about, Sahar? Very good. The apples are rotten. So because apples are plural, the verb to be are, and then verb 3 of rot is rotten. So the apples are rotten. Well done, Sahar. Now we have 4 more products there. So who'd like to go next and tell me what's wrong with these other 4 products down here? Aigul, what would you like to talk about, Aigul? Very good. One of these eggs is cracked. Perfect. Very good explanation. Okay, so maybe Haigor, what would you like to talk about? The can of food, the cup, or the computer? Haigor, tell me what's wrong with this product.
The can of food is past its sell-by date.
Very good. The can of food is past its sell-by date. Okay, that leaves Takako. So Takako, tell me what's wrong with the computer, or what is wrong with the cup?
Okay, teacher. The computer is malfunctioning.
Very good. The computer is malfunctioning. Or if we want to use the present perfect passive, we can say the computer has malfunctioned. But very good. Okay, so you've used those forms very well. And of course, the cup is chipped. Our shirt was stained. And this word, we might use this word. For example, if you buy a new piece of clothing and you put it through the wash, and after it's been washed, it shrinks. The way you use this word is say, oh, my shirt has shrunk. You see, so that might be a way you'd use that word. The rest of the words we've used today, so that's great. Okay, so then let's move on to our final task, which is a role play. And in our role play, let's say you've just come from the store, but when you got home, you realized that what you purchased was faulty. So you have to call the customer service to complain. So student A, you can be the person who bought something, the product you can see on the slide. You have to tell student B, who is the customer service representative, what is wrong with your purchase. Student B, you listen to student A and perhaps respond to the complaint. Oops, I'm giving it away here. Our first one, of course, there we are, is the cup. Now, remember, this is cup that we're looking at here is not chipped. The verb we would use here, the base form, would be break. So then you have to turn that into the past participle to report what's wrong with this cup. So, Igor, could I ask you to be student A and make a complaint about this? And let's team you up with Igor. Igor, you can be student B. You can listen to Igor and respond to Igor's complaint as a customer service representative would. Friendly and polite. Okay, Igor, student A. Igor, student B.
Okay, Mr. Igor. I would like to see if the problems happen during the transportation to your home. Maybe it's very easy to broken during the transportation, but bring it back to our company that we can see what we can do to solve your problem.
Would you be happy with that, Igor? Would you make any response to that? Well, he said to bring the cup back to the company and the company will see what they can do. Would you respond? Is there anything more you would say after that to them, Igor? Okay, so it sounds like you get that one sorted out, okay. Alright, then Igor, let's make you student A, and this time, Igor, here's your product you have to complain about. Oh my goodness, look at those socks. Oh, okay, and this time you have to complain to Sahar. Let's make Sahar our student representative, student B. So Igor, you start off. Please contact Sahar and tell her what is wrong with this product that you bought.
Oh, I would like to talk with the manager because I bought a purchase here in this store, and when I arrived at my house there was a hole in my purchase, and I would like to change it for another.
Okay, Sahar asked if you washed the socks or did you cut the socks when you opened the pack. How would you respond to that, Igor?
Didn't understand what she said.
Sahar said that perhaps you cut the socks when you opened the pack, or when you washed the socks, they got a hole in them.
No, I'm sure when I opened the packet, before I used it the first time, the hole was there before I opened the packet.
Okay, Sahar, how do you respond to that? Okay, very good. Thank you, Sahar. Is that okay for you now, Igor? If you can exchange your socks, will be okay?
Yes, of course, I will change my socks.
Okay, well done. Okay, so now let's make Sahar. Okay, well done. Sahar, let's go and make you student A. So here's what you have to complain about, Sahar. Are you ready? Oh my goodness, you bought this fresh fruit online. But when it got to your house, look at this. Okay, so you have to complain to your customer service representative, who's going to be Takako, student B. So ready, Sahar? Please contact Takako and tell her what's wrong with your purchase.
Thank you for calling, Sahar. I'm sorry to hear that our products have totally rotten. We'd like to look into it and we can exchange new one.
I think Sahar's happy. She's giving you applause. Okay, and Takako, very polite in your response. You make a very good customer service representative. That's great. So now, Takako, it's time to change hats, as we say. This time you're not the customer service representative. This time you are the person who bought the cup. Let's go back to our first one. So you're the person who bought the cup. Or maybe we should go to a different slide. And let's say you bought the computer. So, Takako, you got your computer, but when you got home there was a problem. So can you contact your customer service representative, who will be Igor, and tell Igor what's wrong with your product. And let's see how Igor responds as a customer service representative. Takako, student A. Igor, student B.
Hello, customer service. I bought a PC yesterday, and we used PC today, but PC seems to be malfunctioned.
Functioning. Aigul, are you there?
I did it. I'm sure to connect net and power. I made sure connect of power, but it seems something wrong.
Okay, Takako, did you hear that? Okay, so if they come to your house and check the problem, will be okay for you, Takako?
Okay.
It's okay. All right, that's good then. Okay, I'm glad everybody's happy. That's good. Now, the big thing to remember, of course, is if you are having to deal with a complaint, then that we be friendly. And there are a few things to remember, of course. Always ask for a proof of purchase or the receipt. So it's very important when you want to exchange goods, both as the customer and as the customer service representative, that you say to people, please bring your receipt if they have to bring goods back to the store, because it's your proof of purchase. And also, it's always a very good idea to be calm and polite when you're handling customer service complaints, because these people are upset because they have a product that they thought was going to do something, and when they got the product home they were disappointed, so they are already a little bit upset. So it's no point in two people being upset over the one problem. So the customer service representative is usually the kind of person who can speak calmly and clearly and try to explain that it's not a big problem, and as long as we have the receipt or the proof of purchase, then we can have our technician check it for you, or we can replace it for you, or if we don't have any more in stock, we will refund your money. So these are the kinds of things that you have to consider when you're talking as a customer service representative. Okay, so now with that in mind, let's try a different scenario this time. Hi Gore, I'll go to you. Hi Gore, I bought an MP3 player from your company yesterday. Now when I got it home, it powered up okay, but I couldn't load any of my MP3 files. This might be a problem with me because I'm not familiar with your MP3 player. Could you maybe tell me what should I do to make sure I'm loading the MP3 play okay? Haigor?
Okay, Tony, I will explain to you how to load the MP3. Now, first you put in the USB port in your computer, and then you make sure that the MP3 not programmed are not locked, to avoid some recording that you don't like. There is the side of the MP3 key that you unlock, that will allow you to
yes,
load.
That, yes.
You load the MP3 files. Can you see this key?
This is right. It was unlocked. Okay, thank you, Haigor. There you go. I think everything will be okay. Thank you very much, Haigor. You're a very good customer service representative. Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you. Now let me go to Sahar. Sahar, now yesterday, Sahar, I bought one of the new iPhones from your shop. But when I turn the screen on, I don't get a very clear picture. Is there something I'm doing wrong, or can your company help me in some way? Okay, so can I come back to the store today? Would that be okay if I bring my iPhone back today? Is there anything I need to bring? Okay, that's when you're supposed to mention the receipt. Please bring your receipt. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I'll see you soon. Thank you very much. That's very good service. Okay, so then I go to Takako. Now, Takako, I was in your store yesterday and I wanted to buy a pack of miso soup. But the miso soup that I wanted to buy was the red miso. Now, when I got home, I didn't open the pack, but I noticed the pack is the white miso soup. Is there any way I can exchange? Can I bring this back to your store? Exchange for the red miso soup?
Oh, uh, you opened packed already?
Oh, no, I did not open. I looked at the pack before I put it in my
Oh.
cupboard, and that's when I noticed that it wasn't the red miso I wanted, it was the white miso. I must
Oh.
have picked up the wrong pack by mistake.
Okay. I I I can exchange. You want to white white miso? Um, could you bring back to with receipt and red miso?
Ah, yes, okay. Thank you very much. Yes, I have the receipt still, no problem there. And the pack is unopened, so I'll let you check the pack when I come back, but I'll bring the receipt. Thank you very much, Tikako. You're a very good customer service representative. Okay. Now, let me go to Aigul. Aigul, yesterday I was in your store, and I purchased a very beautiful reclining chair that I like to watch TV in. Now, I thought that I was going to buy a brown leather chair, but when I got home, I see that the color of the leather is actually a very deep red. Now, the rest of my furniture is brown, and the red really doesn't fit in. Aigul, is there any way we could overcome this problem? If you have a brown chair, could I exchange for a brown chair? Would that be possible, Aigul? Thank you. Oh, excellent. Oh, that's great. Good news, Aiko. My wife is very upset. She says that the lounge room looks terrible with the red chair. We must have all brown. So thank you very much. And is there anything I need to bring? We can do an exchange, okay? Is that okay? I guess that's okay. I seem to lose Aiko there right at the end. Okay, well done, everybody. Now you have a good idea of how to use that passive voice when you're talking about products. And you also speak very politely when you are handling the customer service end. So well done for today's class. Here's what we did talk about today. Different complaints you might make about a product. We imagined how a customer service representative might respond to a complaint, and we practiced making a complaint and being a customer service representative. So well done. Now, I'll be leaving the class shortly to get a new class started for myself, but not for you. So at the moment, what I've done is I've unlocked the slides, so each of you can look through any of the slides from today's lesson by clicking on the arrows you see at the bottom of your screens now. And if you'd like those notes on passives and continuous forms from the right side of the screen, if those notes are of any use to you in the notepad, you are welcome to make a copy of those notes. Simply put your mouse over the top word, keep your mouse pressed down and drag it over all the words so they're highlighted. Hit Control and C, then open a Word doc, hit Control and V, and then you'll have everything in the document for you. And that will be all the notes from today's lesson. And after I leave the class, you are welcome to keep chatting in class and looking through the slides. Even though there are no mics next to your names now, you can see that there is still a mic symbol at the top of your screen. This means that each of you can still turn on their mics and continue to converse with each other and carry on a conversation, maybe about the lesson today or maybe about what the weather's like where you are. That's up to you. The class stays open as long as the students stay in class. So before I do go today, are there any questions I can help you with about today's lesson or anything in general? Okay, I don't see any hands going up there. So I'd like to say thank you to Aiko, thank you to Haigor, Saha, and Takako. Very good work today. Very good ideas about how you define the problems with your products and very good ideas about how you speak as a customer service representative. So well done today. I'll get you reports very shortly. Remember, English is something that we have to practice each day. It's like a skill. So if you don't practice the skill, we tend to lose it. So keep practicing your English because you speak very well now. And I look forward to seeing you again soon here on English Town. But for Tony for today, it's time for me to say Bye bye for now. Thank you and see you soon.